Here's more wrestling news from March 26, 2021. And if you like what you're watching, smash that like button and give us 1,000 likes or more. And your headlines for this afternoon include: Daniel Bryan's contract expiring soon. WWE superstar addresses his future. Former WWE champion says WWE should have outlawed slapping your leg 10 years ago. Booker T questions whether Eric Bischoff should be in WWE Hall of Fame. Top WWE Raw star moving to Smackdown. Expected time frame for Bella Twins' WWE return. It's just not entertaining. Former WWE employee feels sorry for Braun Strowman over current storyline. We're starting this video with Daniel Bryan, who's made no secret that his days of being a full-time performer in WWE are numbered. In fact, Bryan has said that 2021 will be his last year as a full-time superstar, and during a recent interview with TalkSport's Alex McCarthy, Bryan said that his current contract is up soon and that he's torn between his family and his career. He explained, "It's really just an evaluation of what's more important to me. Going out and doing this thing that I love every week, but being away from my family, being away from my wife and kids 3 days a week, and they're at this stage that you don't ever get back. I think it's a little bit different when they get to be in school and time isn't as slow as it is now. But we're not having any more kids and our boy is 7 months. Our daughter is going to turn 4 in May and it's going by so fast." Bryan has 2 children, Birdie, born in 2017, and Buddy, born last year, with Brie Bella. And whilst many fans are hoping to see him in the WrestleMania main event next month, fans should prepare for this year being the last time they'll see the Yes Man compete on a weekly basis. Bryan recently had to change his in-ring style when WWE outlawed the slapping of legs to increase the noise of strikes and kicks, but this is a rule that should have been implemented a long time ago. That's at least according to Bret Hart, who during a recent virtual meet and greet said that leg slaps for noise should have been stopped 10 years ago. Adding that his brother Owen was the one who started this in WWE, the Hitman said enough is enough, adding, "You see guys do stuff and you're going, that wouldn't even make a slap sound. When you punch somebody in the jaw, it's not a slap sound. You know, it's a different kind of sound, and you're making a slap sound for everything. Every single move you do is a slap sound, slap, slap, and I totally agree. I'm glad they put their foot down on that, but they're like 10 years late. They've already kind of in a lot of ways, sadly, ruined wrestling by making it so fake." WWE's rule against leg slaps has both supporters and detractors and has been mocked by AEW on multiple occasions, but it's a rule the excellence of execution is pleased to see come into effect. Back to the present, and for weeks, Sami Zayn has continued his efforts to coax Logan Paul to his way of thinking with impressive results. This month, Zayn has been tweeting the popular YouTuber about his belief that there's a conspiracy in WWE against him, and now Paul is on his side. In a tweet, the YouTuber said he has checked out what Zayn has been sending him and believes the former Intercontinental Champion is onto something. Though Paul is on the side of the self-proclaimed Great Liberator, Kevin Owens doesn't believe his former best friend, and with a feud teased on Smackdown, we'll have to see if the two collide at WrestleMania and if Logan Paul will be in the corner of Sami Zayn. Of course, WrestleMania will be just one highlight of 2 weeks' time, as fans will see the class of 2020 and 2021 be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame, and that'll include WCW legend and former Raw General Manager Eric Bischoff. With a lengthy career in wrestling under various roles, many believe Bischoff's induction is the right call, though Booker T isn't as sure. A 2-time Hall of Famer in his own right, Booker spoke on his appropriately titled Hall of Fame podcast and admitted that he doesn't agree with the induction. Booker explained that he doesn't know how WWE is measuring how worthy someone is of the Hall of Fame, but believes that anybody who goes into the Hall of Fame should be a wrestler. The 6-time world champion added that though he's not advocating for Bischoff to have his induction rescinded, he's questioning how WWE determines an inductee, and said that the NFL Hall of Fame would never have anyone inducted who didn't play on the gridiron. For reference, Bischoff has had 24 matches in his career across WCW, WWE, and TNA, but Booker clearly feels that isn't enough to warrant a Hall of Fame induction. Impact Wrestling news next, as the company is moving to Thursday nights on AXS TV. This huge news was confirmed yesterday afternoon, and the first Impact back on Thursdays will be the April 8th show, which will be headlined by AEW World Champion Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers versus Impact World Champion Rich Swann, Eddie Edwards, and Willie Mack. There's no word yet on whether this move was influenced by WWE, who'll reportedly be moving NXT to Tuesdays, which would have put the two shows in direct competition. We'll have to see how Impact does on its new home on Thursday nights, but given that the show was destroyed in the ratings on the rare occasions when NXT had to move to Tuesdays before, this is probably the right call for the company. Whilst Impact isn't ready to compete directly with WWE, AEW is, as they'll be running a house show on April 9th in Jacksonville, Florida. Clearly, the show will happen during WrestleMania weekend, so fans in Tampa who are willing to make the 3-hour trip to Jacksonville will be able to attend an AEW event before WrestleMania. During Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer brought up AEW's reasoning, saying that with Smackdown being taped in advance, and the fact that WWE wouldn't have let fans in anyway even if it was live, AEW are cashing in on there being an abundance of wrestling fans in Florida who will be free that night. Meltzer added that the house show will also allow some of the younger members of the roster to get used to wrestling in front of fans, as many haven't had many, if any, matches in AEW with a crowd. So far, there's no matches or names confirmed for the card, but we can expect AEW will be hosting a packed show for its first ever live event. Back to WWE, and Charlotte Flair won't be competing for the Raw Women's title at WrestleMania as planned, but she may not be a Red Brand talent for much longer. PW Insider are reporting that Flair will appear on tonight's Smackdown, but there's no word on what WWE have planned for her. It's possible that she could be added to the SmackDown Women's Champion Sasha Banks vs. Bianca Belair match at WrestleMania, though that hinges on her being medically cleared after recently testing positive. And whilst we doubt any fans would like this decision, we'll find out for sure during tonight's SmackDown. Two women who know Flair very well are Nikki and Brie Bella, who will return to WWE to be inducted into the Hall of Fame next month, over 2 years since both women's last matches in October 2018. Whilst the Bellas have both expanded their families in the years since, there's been speculation on the duo returning, and that seems to be the case now. On Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer explained that this year's Hall of Fame induction will be just the start of the Bellas reunion, saying, "They're coming back to wrestle soon. I don't know exactly when, but they're coming back to wrestle. They're planning on coming back, I think in the fall." There are some obstacles with this plan, as it's unclear how much damage Nikki can take with her neck issues, and she's also set to marry her fiancé Artem Chikvintsev in November. Whatever the case, it seems that the Hall of Fame will be just the first steps for a Bella comeback, and with the pair being one of WWE's most established female teams, perhaps a women's tag team title reign isn't too far away. And we're ending with Braun Strowman, who's been feuding with Shane McMahon lately in a storyline that has left fans confused. As part of the angle, Strowman has been insulted and humiliated by the WWE's prodigal son, and it's not just fans who don't like this booking. Speaking on his Ref and Rant series on Twitter, former WWE official Jimmy Korderas says he feels sorry for Strowman, who was once seen as a monster and top star. He explained, "He gets slimed a couple of weeks ago, he gets called stupid, it's just not entertaining. This story is not appealing to me, at least it's very childish in its approach, and it's not working." Fans can only hope that Strowman finally gets his revenge on Shane at WrestleMania, but after weeks of such an embarrassing feud that's left Korderas feeling sorry for him, the damage this feud has done to Strowman's mystique may have been too much for a win at WrestleMania to undo. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.